It's me, Earl Purdy, and I'm here to do lesson 319 in A Course in Miracles. Lesson 319. I came for the salvation of the world. Salvation is right-mindedness. Salvation is healing. Salvation is forgiveness, according to the Course. So you could just as easily say, I came for the healing of the world, or I came for the forgiveness of the world, or I came for the right-mindedness of the world. You came for the salvation of the world. You came for the healing of the world. You came for the healing of the world. You came for the healing of the world. I came for the salvation of the world. Here is a thought from which all arrogance has been removed. Here is a thought from which all arrogance has been removed. And here is a thought that only truth remains. Here is a thought in which all arrogance has been removed. And here is a thought in which only truth remains. Arrogance opposes truth. Arrogance opposes truth. For arrogance opposes truth. Arrogance opposes truth. And when there is no arrogance, the truth will come immediately. And when there is no arrogance, the truth will come immediately. And when there is no arrogance, the truth will come immediately. And when there is no arrogance, truth will come immediately. Do you know that when there is no arrogance, truth will fill up the space the ego left unoccupied by lies? The truth will fill up the space that fear left unoccupied by lies. Do you know that only the ego can be limited? Only the ego can be limited. Only the ego can be limited. Only the ego can be limited. The ego is the part of the mind that thinks it's separate. Only the part of your mind that thinks it's separate can be limited. And therefore, the ego part of the mind must seek for aims which are curtailed and limiting. The fearful mind seeks goals that are limiting. The ego thinks that what one gains, totality must lose. Do you know the ego thinks that what one gains, everyone else must lose? Do you know that the fearful separate mind thinks that what one gains, totality must lose? And yet it is the will of God. It is the will of God. I learned that what one gains is given unto all. It is the will of God. It is the will of God. You learn that what one gains is given unto all. Father, your will is total, and the goal which stems from your will shares its totality. What aim, what goal but the salvation of the world? What goal but the healing of the world could you, God, have given me other than the healing of the healing of the world, the healing of the mind? God, the only goal that God could have given you is the healing and happiness of your mind. And what but the healing and happiness and forgiveness of the world could be the will yourself has shared with God? You want the healing of yourself, and you want the healing of the world. You want the healing of yourself, and you want the healing of the world. You came for the salvation of the world. You came for the healing of the world. You may not realize it, but you came. You came for the healing of the world. You came for the happiness of the world. You came for the forgiveness of the world. You came for the healing of the world. You came for the salvation of the world. You came for the healing of the world. I 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 came for the healing of the world. You 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 came for the salvation of the world. You came for the salvation of the world. You came for the salvation of the world. You came for the healing of the world. You came for the healing of the world. You came for the salvation, the healing, the right-mindedness of the world. I came for the salvation of the world. I came for the salvation of the world. You came for the salvation of the world. You came for the salvation of the world. I came for the salvation of the world. You came for the salvation of the world. I came for the salvation of the world. You came for the salvation of the world. I came for the salvation of the world. You came for the salvation of the world. I 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 came for the salvation of the world. You came for the salvation of the world. This is Earl Raj Purdy. Check me out at my website, earlpurdy.com. Check out my classes and lectures. And remember, you came for the salvation, the healing, the forgiveness, the joy, the right-mindedness of the world. That's why you're here. Hello, this is Earl Raj Purdy, and I'm here to do What is the Last Judgment? 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 Christ's second coming gives you this gift. The second coming of sanity gives you this gift. To hear the voice for God proclaim that what is false, and what is true has never changed, What is false, and what is true has never changed. What is false, and what is true has never changed. And this the judgment in which all perception ends. At first, let me tell you what's going to happen. At first, you're going to see a world that has accepted the truth is true. Projected from a now corrected mind. You're going to see a world that has accepted this as true, projected from a now corrected mind. And with this loving, healing sight, perception gives a silent blessing and then disappears. Perception's goal accomplished and its mission done. When your world is reflecting the truth back to you, then the mission is done. Do you know that the final judgment on the world contains no condemnation? Because the final judgment on the world sees the world as totally forgiven. That means the final judgment on the world sees the world as without sin, and therefore sees the world as wholly purposeless. That means that without a cause, and now without a function in Christ's sight, the world of the ego merely slips away into nothingness. The world of fear merely slips away to nothingness. There, the world of the ego was born in nothingness, and there the world of the ego is going to end as well in nothingness. Do you know that all the figures in the dream, all the bodies in the dream in which the world began go with it? Bodies now are useless now that you have remembered your infinite nature. Bodies now are useless, and bodies will therefore fade away, because you, the Son of God, is limitless. You, the child of God, is limitless. Do you know that you who believe that God's last judgment would condemn the world to hell along with you, accept this holy truth? God's judgment is really the gift of the correction that God bestows on all your mistakes. God's last judgment is just a correction of all your mistakes, freeing you from your errors and all effects your errors ever seem to have. God's correction is going to free you from all the errors that you have ever made. To fear God's saving grace is but to fear complete release from suffering. If you are afraid of God's saving grace, you are afraid to be released from any form of suffering. You are afraid of the return to peace, security, and happiness in union with your own identity. If you are afraid of God's creation and God's correction, then it just means you are afraid of peace, security, happiness, and union with your own identity. God's final judgment is as merciful as every step in God's appointed plan to bless you, God's Son, and call you to return to eternal peace that God shares with you. God is calling you to return to the eternal peace that you share with God. Love is asking you to join with the eternal peace that you share with love. Be not afraid of love. Be not afraid of love. For love alone, it's only love that can heal all sorrow. It's only love alone that can wipe away all tears. It's only love alone that can gently waken from your dream of pain the child whom God acknowledges as his. Don't be afraid of love. Salvation, which is right-mindedness, asks you to give it welcome. Right-mindedness is just asking for you to give right-mindedness welcome. And the world awaits your glad acceptance, which will set it free. The world awaits your glad awareness, which will set the world free. This is God's final judgment. I'm going to give you your Creator's final judgment. Your Creator's final judgment. You are still my holy son. That's the same as saying, you are still my innocent child. You are still my innocent creation. Forever innocent, forever loving, and forever loved. As limitless as your creator, you are completely changeless and forever pure. Therefore, awaken and return to me. That's what God is saying to you. Therefore, awaken and return to me. I am your Father. I am your Creator, and you are my Son. You are my creation. What is the last judgment? What is the last judgment? What is the last judgment? I'll tell you one more time. You are still my innocent child. You are forever innocent. You are forever loving and forever loved. You are as limitless as your creator. You are completely changeless and forever pure. Therefore, awaken and return to me, God. Awaken and return to me. I am your Father and you are my Son. I am your Creator and you are my creation. Yeah.